I want to expound on something just a little bit here. An article I did this morning seems to be evolving. And part of what's evolving is the David Duke controversy and the so called endorsement. It hit the mainstream media so hard and fast, and there's so much of it, that like many people, I assume, well, he probably, David did say something like, well, I support Donald Trump or whatever. Um, the MSM jumped all over it and they started waving Duke around. We need to get some facts straight. Now, fact number one, David Duke has not been a member of the Ku Klux Klan for over 40 years. He was a member, spokesman for them when he was younger, moved away from it, become a state senator, uh, very big in the Republican Party, dang near become the Republican nominee for governor, and all kinds of things. Duke himself came on a CNN thing, or an answer to the CNN thing, and explained that he didn't actually endorse Trump. He didn't really agree with him on a lot of things, but he did agree with him on immigration and the way our borders are disintegrating. Okay. Now, the other thing, I'm not going to read from the script, I'm just going to talk as it is. Teach y'all about politics, all right? As I pointed out last week in one of my articles, there is a huge, what I call Southern strategy machine, ranging all the way from Tallahassee to Shreveport, where we got in and discovered it. They did not want to be discovered. And it's real simple. The formula is real simple. You won't see much Trump signs and support bumper stickers in the major cities, but when you get into the back roads of the rural South, you see a huge groundswell of Trump support. And that's what Donald Trump is depending on to take him through Super Tuesday and beyond. Um, Cruz is already, and this is from MSM too, but according to what I've read, he's considering pulling out. I know after tomorrow, if Rubio stays in the race, he's got no sense at all. No, I don't know the man has one delegate. Um, David Duke, even though he hasn't been in the Klan for 40 years, he does have that reputation. And the people in the North, or liberals, or people who are politically correct, will say, "Oh my God, Klan," and their hair catches on fire. Well, in Benton, Louisiana, it ain't necessarily so. Okay, uh, what David Duke stood for 40 years ago, and he kind of expounds now a little bit, is exactly what the rural South believes in. Now they don't want to hang people from the trees or anything like that, but they really, really, really dislike Obama's America because they see that as an abomination. And they really think that they can go to those polls and they can change this. And they think that Donald Trump is the one that'll do it. And if they think that David Duke is on the same bandwagon, that'll go a long way toward getting them in that pickup and down to that voting booth. That's political reality. That's the way it really works. And that is why Donald seemed to be crawfishing a little bit when David's name came up, because he was very aware if he came out and said, "Oh, I completely stand against this man. I'm completely against everything he represents," and all that kind of stuff, then that huge machine that he's put together to take Super Tuesday will begin to crack. He doesn't want that to happen. He wants to flow through that. He has some decisive victories in other primaries. He's going to have decisive victories on Tuesday. Cruz will probably take Texas, but not as much as he thinks, and he might not. We just have to wait and see. He's the homeboy, he's the favorite son, but you just got to wait and see. But the fact is, um, that was the main reason that Trump didn't come out and just basket uh, what David said. But David has said this didn't happen. He did a very excellent video, and he just explained his position. Now, his position, uh, before everybody thinks that I'm a complete idiot, is white supremacy. And, I've watched his videos. I like his European Awakening video. I really do. But he's a bit of a white supremacist. But boys and girls, that's not against the law. To be proud of who you are and to think that you might have something to offer is not an evil thing. Okay, um, we're just going to have to wait and see how this rolls out. If I'm right, and Trump takes a Super Tuesday, this juggernaut will roll all the way to the convention and he will take the Republican nomination. And then all he has to do is serve up Hillary a Benghazi steak with a little email gravy and just stick a fork in her because she'll be done. Her husband fell apart at a town hall hearing when one Marine brought that name up. So the flaws are there. Hillary is depending on the machine. She's depending on the machine, the way it's always been. When we've seen the Bushes, their dynasty has gone down, and pretty soon you will see the Clinton dynasty go down. Obama doesn't have a dynasty. Okay, he's a one-hit wonder. It'll never happen again. People will not make that mistake. Well, just a thought for the masses. They all go ahead and chime in if you want.